Hello everyone, welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, government commit to addressing concerns of Penville residents during a town hall meeting held on Wednesday. A catch-up campaign launched to encourage birth registration, and the business community here educated on matters relating to the CCJ. Stay with me as I bring you the details of these and other stories when National Focus returns.
You're watching GIS.
Welcome back, viewers. Time now for the details of the news. Members of the business community here were informed on issues pertaining to the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, at a luncheon event on Wednesday at the Fort Young Hotel. The event, organized by the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, the DIC, follows a recent announcement by Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit to write to the British government seeking permission to allow the CCJ to be Dominica's final court of appeal. President of the CCJ, Sir Dennis Byron, was invited by the DIC to address the luncheon. Sir Dennis Byron praised the DIC for its decision to host Wednesday's public education activity on the CCJ. Sir Byron says this is critically important as there have been calls for civil society to play a greater leadership role in educating the public on matters of importance.
Coming here today at your invitation is a matter of great pleasure as well for another reason, because I have felt that in our Caribbean communities, civil society has not been playing a sufficient leadership role in the information of the public on matters of vital importance. And the interest of your institution in this subject today shows that Dominica is a leader in the region in this area. And I am both grateful and admiring of your organization for sponsoring this initiative.
During his presentation, Sir Byron told the business community that the CCJ will replace the Privy Council as the final appellate court of the Commonwealth Caribbean member states. He said the CCJ is already a functioning reality with high-performance records as a key organ of CARICOM.
It's really past the stage where people are talking about whether to have it or not. It has been in existence. It was in 2001 that the CARICOM governments ratified the agreement establishing the Caribbean Court of Justice and brought into force the treaty establishing the Caribbean community, including the single market and economy. Dominica signed the CCJ agreement in 2003. Since then, CARICOM has implemented the unique and transparent institutional arrangements for the operation of the court. And it was inaugurated on the 16th of April, 2005.
Sir Dennis Byron said the CCJ, which is housed in Trinidad, also functions as an internal tribunal interpreting the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas that guides the 15-member Caribbean Community CARICOM grouping. Sir Byron told the function that members of the public do not seem to know how much work the CCJ has been doing regarding regional integration disputes, noting it has adjudicated in over 70 matters since its inception, 13 of which has already been settled.
Since its inception under the original jurisdiction, the Caribbean Court of Justice has already delivered and settled 13 judgments and cases. And there are 2 cases that are currently pending.
He said the CCJ is fulfilling a vision of contributing to economic development and social stability, addressing matters that are of value to the entire region. He noted further that the court is giving a voice to citizens and corporations within the region.
The court has addressed a number of important issues arising out of the CARICOM Treaty. It's addressed issues relating to supporting the regional manufacturing sectors by responding to complaints for cement manufacturing Trinidad to compel the Guyanese government to impose the agreed tariffs on cement imports from the Caribbean Republic. So we have had the Guyanese government as a defendant in a case brought by a company from Trinidad, and we made an order compelling the government to impose certain tariffs in protection of its obligations under the treaty, and it complied with those orders. We've also had a case brought by manufacturers of wheat products to compel the government of Suriname to impose tariffs on imports from the Netherlands. And again, the order of the court was promptly obeyed by the government of Suriname.
Sir Byron disclosed that the Caribbean Court of Justice has already adjudicated on a wide range of appeals. One of the significant points of interest, he said, is that very few of those appeals are of a criminal nature. Sir Byron said the majority of appeals which have come before the court have had to do with commerce, contracts, land issues, and disputes which ordinary folk and business corporations have. Pennville residents got an opportunity to have their concerns regarding community issues heard by government when a special town hall meeting was held on Wednesday evening. Parliamentary representative for that constituency and Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Housing and Water Resource Minister Honorable Reginald Austrie, and the Village Council Chairman were the panelists chairing the town hall meeting. The main items on the agenda were updates on the Pennville Water Supply Project and the Pennville Road, the status of the housing revolution in Pennville, and the need for a basketball hardcourt for the benefit of the area's youth. Minister Austrie used the opportunity to remind the Pennville community of the advocate they have in their parliamentary representative, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, one, he says, who is constantly working for his constituents.
Skerrit means more to you as your pal rep than as the Prime Minister. Because we know villages that have had Prime Ministers and they have nothing to talk about today. And we can go just across to Marigot. I mean, you get more requests for things from Marigot than any part of the country, yet still had a Prime Minister for 5 years. So it seemed to me that the Prime Minister is not what matters, but is what you can do as a representative of the people. And Roosevelt Skerrit has demonstrated that as a representative of Pennville, Pennville can be proud to walk through any part of Dominica and say, I am from Pennville, I am from Roosevelt Skerrit constituency. And we can look at roads, we can look at housing, we can look at education, your bus service, you can look at the number of persons who have gone to university in all parts of the world. China, Gramblins, Mexico, UE, the number of policemen, the number of people that have gotten jobs in the public service. Before it was one people, Yonabala, but today everybody in Pennville have a right and a choice to be a public officer, and at the highest level.
Minister Austrie went further to say that Pennville can count many benefits from the election of Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit as parliamentary representative.
It takes commitment, it takes a drive, and it takes a passion for the people you represent, that any opportunity you get to make them something, you will make them something. And that I can say for Roosevelt Skerrit, he has made every single man, woman, and child in Pennville a proud Dominican. Even the children that are now going to PSS, they now have a reason and a hope for going to PSS. They love to go to PSS, not just to go to a secondary school and come back and plant Dashing and Tarnia, but to go to a secondary school with the hope that I will be something in this country because my pal rep has made it possible for me to be something in this country.
Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for the area, Honorable Skerritt, told constituents how grateful he is for their support and patience.
This month of January will mark about how many years? About 13 or 14 years since you voted me in as your Member of Parliament. And I want to thank you for your continued support. But I really want to thank you in Penn, because I say so in Cabinet all the time, that the people of Pennville have been exceptionally patient and understanding. And there has never been any public agitation because of the condition of the road.
Residents expressed appreciation for the representation received from Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt. Also on the agenda of the town hall meeting was the official handing over of a check for the construction of a multi-purpose hard court in Pennville.
When I came to church here Christmas Day and I saw the road all marked up, and I say, there's no way, as the part of Pennville, I should allow my young people in Pennville to continue to play basketball on the main road. We have to solve that problem and solve it once and for all. And that's why I'm here this afternoon to hand over a check to the Village Council in the tune of $100,000 for the construction of the basketball court. This basketball court, once completed, will have the lights there so we can play at night and get the young people focused on constructive things, constructive social engagement, rather than other distractions which the world throw at them from time to time.
Honorable Skerritt emphasized that government is still interested in investing in the island's young people, even in financial difficult times. The constituency MP gave a brief background on the source of the funds.
The check is coming from a company created by the government of Dominica named the National Petroleum Company Limited of Dominica. That's correct, Reggie? Dominica National Petroleum Company Limited. And that company is owned by the government of Dominica, and it has entered into a joint venture with Venezuela, PDVSA in Venezuela, creating what we call here Petrocaribe. And under the Petrocaribe agreement, the government buys petroleum products from Venezuela. We pay them 60% of what we buy from them within 90 days, and the 40% stays with us for investments, and we will repay them back in the next 25 years at 1% interest. What we've done is that we've created accounts at the National Bank. We've put this money into the National Bank, and the interest that we get from that, we're using to help communities across Dominica. And we'll be using it to help in terms of training programs for young people and women, in terms of playing fields and playing facilities for our young people and adults alike across the country.
One young man who looks forward to the completion of the hard court said he is pleased by the move.
We are so elated that we don't have to pick up running down the cliff playing our basketball again. We just want to say thanks and well done.
The $100,000 check was handed over to the chairman of the Pennville Village Council. GIS News will bring you more from that meeting in subsequent newscast. And government is looking to enhance the island's Cadet Corps program and incorporate it into the full curriculum of all secondary schools by September 2013. Assisting the Ministry of Education to do that is Colonel Eddie Charles of the United States Army Junior ROTC program of St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. Colonel Charles, who is in Dominica on the invitation of Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, on Tuesday met with principals of the secondary schools to expose them to the curriculum of the Army Junior ROTC program. The plan is to include some aspects of that program into Dominica's Cadet Corps program, which will assist in motivating young people to be better citizens.
I'm here to explain the curriculum of the Army Junior ROTC program that we are partnering with the Dominica Cadet Corps to get the Dominica Cadet Corps from the part-time basis that it is into the full-time curriculum of the school. It should be the Prime Minister is trying to get it instituted into the high school system on a full-time basis, just like we are in the U.S. side.
The Army Junior ROTC program is being described as one of the best citizenship building programs in the United States, which adds value to the community and the schools. Colonel Charles is strongly advocating that key aspects of that program be implemented in Dominican schools through the Cadet Corps.
It adds value to a community because of the community service that is done by the cadets in the program. It adds value to a school because of the refocusing or the focus it gives the individual students to apply to their academics as well as to any other area of school activities in which they participate, whether it's academics or sports or vocational type. It really gets them focused with discipline and character and bearing, all right? And in the end, graduating from high school, you have a product, a young person, young man, young woman, who is prepared to enter institutions of higher learning or to enter the workforce with a discipline, a charismatic type discipline that is much sought after by employers.
Apart from learning drilling skills, Colonel Charles says students will be exposed to organizational management and supervisory skills from professionals within the Dominican community.
You learn to lead a squad, a small team, and you learn to lead a platoon and a company which is bigger. And the ones at the top of the spear, the tip of the spear, the battalion commander, the deputy commander, those people learn to lead the larger group. And they're learning all that under the facilitation of the commandant of the Cadet Corps and all the other instructors that are available. And they pick up also not only what's in academics, but from the life experiences of all these volunteers or other people who come to assist the Cadet Corps in instruction. And we are looking for retired police officers, former cadets, former members of the Defense Force, okay? And you have professionals out there, people in the medical field, people in the security field, all right? And wherever you can get a career-focused stimulus for those young people, all right? You try and get it and add it to the program.
The Dominica Cadet Corps, which has been instituted at a few primary schools on the island, provide progressive cadet training to students. The program, which is often of a challenging and exciting nature, helps foster confidence, self-reliance, initiative, loyalty to country, and a sense of service to young people. Dominica's President, His Excellency Elud Williams, on Monday welcomed Canada's new ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Richard Hanley. The new ambassador, who holds a bachelor's degree in political studies and a master's degree in public administration, presented his letters of credentials to the president, citing a continuation of friendly relations between the two countries. His Excellency President Williams, in his speech, highlighted a few ways by which Dominica has benefited from its relationship with Canada.
Dominica has benefited from assistance offered by your government through the Canadian International Development Agency and continues to benefit through the International Organization for the Francophonie and from the Canadian Francophonie Scholarship Program. I note too that our police officers have received specialized short-term training through the Regional Security System, RSS, as we normally say locally, utilizing special funding from the Canadian government. In 2007, Canada provided $17 million over a 10-year period under the CARICOM Canada Leadership Scholarship Program to CARICOM students as part of the Commonwealth Scholarship Program. I am aware that Canada is also negotiating a trade agreement with CARICOM countries as a group. In fact, the available information suggests that two-way trade has more than doubled over the last decade, from 936 million to some 2.4 billion in 2010. In terms of Canadian direct investment in the region, this has also grown significantly, though most of these investments are in financial services.
According to Ambassador Hanley, Canada and Dominica enjoy cultural, commercial and economic ties, while Canada continues to promote regional integration within the Caribbean community in security and economic areas. The ambassador made special mention of a new program set up to help small farmers reach larger markets.
The Commonwealth of Dominica will participate in Propel, a project called Promotion of Regional Opportunities for Produce through Enterprises and Linkages, a project which contributes to economic growth in the Caribbean by increasing the sales of fresh produce by small-scale local producers to high-value markets. Small farmers will receive help to increase the quality and quantity of fresh, regionally grown fruits and vegetables, and to link to buyers such as regional grocery chains, cruise lines, airlines, hotels, and restaurants. Canada is working through the Canadian Hunger Foundation and its local partner, Caribbean Farmers Network, in this 5-year multi-country $19 million Canadian project. We are confident that Canada and the Commonwealth of Dominica will continue to work together as friends toward a more prosperous and secure hemisphere. It is a great honor for me to serve Canada in this beautiful country, and I look forward to working with the people and government of the Commonwealth of Dominica to enhance our strong and productive relationship in the years ahead.
Canada's new ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Richard Hanley, replaces Ambassador Her Excellency Ruth Archibald. Dr. Carissa Etienne was on Tuesday named Regional Director for the Americas of the World Health Organization, the WHO, by the WHO Executive Board, which is holding its 132nd session this week in Geneva. She was nominated for that position by the Regional Committee for the Americas in September 2012 and will take up her appointment for a 5-year term on February 1st, 2013. Dr. Etienne was elected Director of the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, by the countries of the Americas on September 19, 2012, during the 28th Pan-American Sanitary Conference. PAHO serves as the regional office for the Americas of World Health Organization. From 2003 to 2008, Dr. Etienne served as Assistant Director of the Pan-American Health Organization, WHO's regional office for the Americas, and from 2008 to 2012, she was Assistant Director General, Health Systems and Services at the WHO headquarters in Geneva. In more news, the government of Dominica on Wednesday launched a catch-up campaign. The campaign seeks to ensure that all children under 18 have a fully complete birth certificate by March 31st. The 3-month campaign is part of a regional birth registration reform process. Other participating countries include Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The campaign is funded by the United Nations Children's Fund and coordinated by the Foundation for the Development of Caribbean Children. Recent research indicates that over 2,000 children under the age of 18 in Dominica still have no birth certificate or any document bearing their names or that of their parents.
We embrace with much enthusiasm this catch-up campaign, which will comprise phase 2 and which will assist the registry in putting its house in order so that eventually it is well positioned for all of the reform initiatives that are ongoing, particularly the major project which we are embarking on and which is ongoing in establishing the secure civil registry and certificate issuing system.
Over the next 3 months, the campaign will utilize the mass media, posters and interventions at key schools across the country to get the message out to target audience including parents, school principals, health workers, as well as children. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, département registry qui a couru deuxième phase taper tous les enfants en bas l'âge 18 ans enregistrés. Département là lancé une campagne qui a couru pour 3 mois sensibiliser et puis encourager le monde pour prendre l'avantage campagne cela. Sinon, registrar département là Ozzy Walsh est bien important pour les enfants en Dominique registrés.
Nous voulons tout le monde Dominique qui les enfants qui a avec 8 l'année qui pas registré avec nous à registry là nous avons birth certificate nous encourage pour registrer ces enfants. Il y a des gens qui registrent ces enfants avec nous, mais ces enfants information à records nous et c'est pas tout qui là. Il est nos enfants Camacho. Papa non Camacho. Sa papa a fait Camacho. So, à moi, j'avais pour match, l'année ça, nous, Registry Department, UNICEF, United Nations Children Fund, c'est Yobi Kabalaja pour ça, avec a foundation à Barbadi, qui est la Foundation for the Development of Caribbean Children. Nous trois travaillons ensemble pour nous aller à ce campagne, nous qui ça, parce que catch-up campaign, tout le monde qui part à les records pour la registry, nous voulons register nous voulons les enfants, tous les enfants Dominique. Nous les mamans check c'est pour ces enfants register avec nous. Et si ils pas register avec nous, register. Si on a un panier of birth certificate, qui place sorti, pas connaître. Il passe à sortir Dominique, il passe à taper un passeport. Il est difficile pour eux aller. Si vous c'est pour eux aller travailler dans le 18, il passe à taper un passeport, il passe à taper un social security card. Et important pour nous register avec nous.
En la nouvelle, membre parlement pour Casse Bruce, Honorable Johnson Drago, qui a fait parole qui projet Chimeros aller pour plus de software qui continue. Il y a l'autre projet pour implémenter ces health center en petite software.
Moun en petite software, il y a un projet qui fait, c'est Chimeros aller. Le gouvernement a un commitment qui gouvernement a dépensé plus de 4 millions de dollars à ce projet ça a couru pour nous péter Washmark. Washmark a semblé nous tirer des douleurs, mais nous avons pété Washmark et puis nous avons ouvert chemin ça, bah moun souffrir tout de suite en area. Aussi nous avons regardé pour nous ça ranger 11 affaires pour faire ça fait health center bah moun souffrir parce que nous voulons un chic micro à présent pour taper traitement médical.
Et puis finalement, la compagnie de Wasco a implémenté le projet de l'eau en Penville et puis en Benz. Parole cela sorti officier relations publiques compagnie de Wasco, Edward Regis.
Nous aussi fait un grand projet à Penville, un village Penville. Là, il y a un pile problème avec l'eau. Avec nous fini projet ça, avec nous crois que c'est mon a trouvé un bon service à Wasco. Nous bâtissons un grand tank, nous bâtissons un intake avec nous lions pile différents pipes pour faire certain que nous fait système là primaire en Penville. Aussi nous commençons un grand projet en grand fond même c'est mon a tenu un pile problème aussi en manière de trouver l'eau autant là pas de l'eau avec ça c'est parce que ces pipes là qui étaient là étaient vieux pipes. Ça nous tient pour faire un système neuf. Avec nous avons commencé ça. Aussi, intake là tenait un pile différents problèmes parce que différents cyclones qui passaient, ils affectaient intake là. Comme ça nous tient pour faire un intake neuf, nous pour bâtir un grand dam encore, pour chain glow, avec aussi pour lier pipe encore. Comme ça, tout ça qu'a fait.
tout ça fait l'année passée avec projet ça pour qu'on faut continuer l'année ça.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Voilà.
And that's National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. Friend us on facebook.com/GIS News and be sure to like our fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube page. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching.